Hey there, and welcome to your practice. Today's flow is called Intro to Sun Salutations. So what I'd like to do is first start by guiding you through some stretches that'll warm up the body, and then I'm going to take you through Sun Salutations A, B, and C, and then we're going to close with more stretches, some core work, and all those things. If you have sensitive knees, you might want to grab a blanket or something to pad your knees with, because we'll need that eventually. But if you have healthy knees, then you should be good to go. And I always like to keep a block handy regardless of what I'm practicing, just in case you need it. It's not mandatory, but again, it's always just nice to have it. So I'll throw some cues in on when you might need to use it, but if you don't have one lying around, it's completely fine. You'll be able to modify nonetheless. So we are going to start today in a seated position. So if you have a block handy and you want to sit on it, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, just come into a comfortable seated position on your mat. Begin to close the eyes, start to root down through the sit bones. Lengthen the spine, reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Relax through the shoulders and just start to notice the breath traveling in and out through your nose. Without trying to change anything, just starting to acknowledge how you're feeling in this moment. Noticing if there's any tension within the body. Noticing if you're holding on to any stress. Just notice the duration of the breath as it travels in and out through your nose as well. So are you breathing more shallow, or are your breaths nice and deep? As always, starting our practice from a place of acceptance, not judging our bodies, not judging the quality of our thoughts, just being content with how we are in this moment. So as you sit here getting grounded on your mat, I invite you to deepen the breath. Acknowledging the low belly inflate as the breath travels up through the rib cage, making its way up to the collarbones. Holding your breath at the top of your inhale just for a moment. And then exhale, slowly releasing it out the same way. Taking another deep inhale, filling the body up with breath. On your exhale, slowly just letting it go. If you have a specific breath practice you'd like to take in your yoga practice, you're welcome to do that now. Maybe taking victorious breathing or Ujjayi pranayama in yoga terminology. But just find this grounded position, just letting anything go for the next 5 or so breaths. Feeling the stress leave the body, feeling yourself just start to relax. Staying focused on the breath. You're welcome to keep the eyes closed, or gently blink them open if you feel more comfortable. We're going to start by taking a couple side bends and upper body stretches in a seated position. So from here, take your arms up overhead, gaze up past your fingertips, and just pause here for a moment in this seated stretch. So you're going to want to engage through the low belly, feel the length through both of your sides, and then again, continue to relax the shoulders down the body. Gazing past your fingertips, noticing if your shoulders feel a little bit tight. That's okay, just breathe through it. From here, keeping your left arm up, just take your right hand out to the side, slide it over to the right, and then let your left arm go overhead. So coming into a side stretch. You can gaze down past your right fingertips, but notice if your left sit bone wants to lift up. See if you can use that right hand to press yourself back down into the mat. Core engagement strong, breath strong. Feeling the ribs expand with the inhales. Take one more deep breath. And then slowly start to bring the right arm back up. Pause. And then just take your left hand down to the left side of your mat, slide it out, and then reach the right arm up and over. Pressing through the left hand, keeping the right hip down. You can look up at your right fingers or down at your left hand, regardless, or depending on the health of your neck. Just keep taking a few deep breaths here, continuing to just settle into the body. Inhale, slowly start to bring the left arm back up. From here, bring the hands behind the back. You're gonna interlace your fingers, or if that doesn't work, you can just extend the arms out behind you. From here, take your clasped hands, if you have it, down towards the floor. Take your gaze up and then feel a nice stretch through your chest. Again, if this doesn't work, grabbing your shirt, maybe just grabbing opposing elbows, or simply extending the arms back will be fine. Breathe into the chest. And then from here, keeping that bind, if you have it, just start to take a forward fold. Let the head come down towards the mat. Maybe shake out the head, yes and no. And again, if you don't have that bind, just release your arms and just take them behind you. Maybe wiggling your fingers around. Inhale, slowly start to come back up. Bring your hands to your heart. From here, interlace your fingers in front of you, then press the hands out and away. Shoulders draw down the back. Now breathing into the back of the upper shoulders. Release the hand. Take the left hand to your right knee, right hand behind you. Press the right hand down. Gaze over your right shoulder. Lengthening through the spine, keeping the lower belly engaged. Use that left hand just to apply a little pressure to that right leg. So you can twist a little bit deeper. Come back through center and then switch sides. So your right hand will go to your left knee, left hand behind you, press the left hand down into the floor. Use that right hand to rotate you open. Take one more deep breath. And then come back through center. If you want to shake out your arms a little bit, you can. One last thing for the upper body. So here you're going to take your right hand back down towards the floor. Take your left hand to the outside, kind of like your right forehead. And then you're just going to apply a little bit of pressure, turning your head towards your left shoulder, gazing up. And you should feel a really nice stretch in the right side of the neck. Again, you're not cranking your neck too much. It's just a little bit of pressure, just enough so you feel the sensation in the right side. And then you use that right hand, directing it towards the floor to intensify the stretch just a little bit more. If that's too much, just keep your hand on your lap. Release that. Take your right hand to the left side of your head. Gentle pressure. Again, nothing too much. Left hand can come out to the left side. Gaze up. Don't forget to breathe. Slowly start to bring your head back up, release the bind, and then you're gonna just come onto your hands and knees and work into a tabletop pose. So I'm gonna lose the sweater here. And then you're gonna come into tabletop pose. So for table, you're gonna bring your hands below your shoulders, knees below your hips. Nice long neutral spine, crown of the head extends towards the front of your mat. And before you start to do anything, just check in with how you're feeling. Is this kind of like you're just hanging out, kind of just chilling in your table, or are you really engaging? Spread the fingers nice and wide, engage the biceps, and there's a slight outward rotation in the biceps. So your hands are almost like you're trying to twist a jar towards the outside edges of your mat. Engage through your lower belly, and take a couple deep breaths. And then from here, we'll start to move through some cat-cows. So on your inhale, take your gaze up, your belly will drop down, and then pause. Acknowledging the curves of your spine. Keeping your core engaged, breath strong, noticing your neck, noticing your chest. And then exhale, make it slow and controlled. Round your chin towards your chest, arch through your spine. This is cat pose. Pause here, take a few deep breaths into the back body. Inhale, take your gaze up, your belly will drop down, tailbone lifts. Pause here in cow pose. On your exhale, round your chin to your chest, arch through your spine, coming into cat. Take a few more rounds of that, just at your own pace now. So the thing I want you to remember throughout this whole practice is you can take this at your own pace. I'm going to provide you suggestions, I like to call them, in regards to the poses. but it's up to you to slow down, modify, hit pause, do whatever you need to do so that your body feels good. That's ultimately the goal. So here, if you want to take your hips from side to side, make a couple big circles with your hips in either direction, feel free to do so. Take about 3 more rounds of your cat-cow variations. And then come back to neutral. From here, you're gonna tuck your toes under, keep your hands as they are, just start to lift your knees off of the mat and then slowly come into a downward facing dog. So here's another really strong pose that's important to get the posture right. So your hands are still spread wide, your feet are about hip distance apart, everything in your body feels engaged. Feel the weight evenly distributed between the meat of the thumb and the first knuckle of the forefinger and the middle finger. Draw the heels down towards the mat as you lift your hips up. And then I always like to just kind of let my head just dangle, maybe shake it out, yes and no. And then start to walk the legs out a little bit once you feel warm. Take about 3 more deep breaths here, just letting this be a little bit of a free-for-all. But of course, keeping your breath strong and controlled. Pause in your downward facing dog. And again, if you need to take a break, drop down to your knees and take a child's pose. Otherwise, staying in your downward facing dog, just taking another deep breath. Hang out in child's pose if you need to. Otherwise, shift your weight forward, come into a high plank pose. Pause. So again, another really strong pose. Modification, drop your knees down towards the floor. And again, if you need to put a blanket under your knees just to support them, add a little cushion, feel free to do that. Otherwise, holding your high plank. From here, press back into downward facing dog, keeping the core engaged. Good posture, take a breath. Inhale, press forward, high plank pose. You can drop your knees. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips go up and back. From here, come into coming into high plank, pause, hold. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. And then on your exhale, slowly start to just walk your feet towards the front of your mat. Pause here in a standing forward fold. Let the crown of the head be heavy. You can take your fingertips off of the mat. Maybe grab opposing elbows, sway from side to side. Just again, let the body dangle, let the spine hang down. Imagining any stress, anything that you're holding on to, just kind of washing away. Take another deep breath here. And then slowly release the hands down. One vertebrae at a time, slowly begin to rise up to standing, just kind of letting your body ragdoll on the way up. Reach your arms up overhead, gaze up past your fingertips, pause here. Feel the length through the spine, keeping everything fired up through the core. And then exhale, draw your hands to meet your heart, pause here. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Preparing yourself to start our first flow. Sun Salutation A. We're going to walk through a nice breakdown of it and then we'll pick it up after we go through the first round. On your inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, gaze up past your fingers. On your exhale, forward fold over your straight legs. Inhale, look up halfway, lengthen your spine. On your exhale, plant your hands. First, step your feet back into a high plank position. As always, you have the option to drop your knees down. Otherwise, just holding high plank for a deep breath. Whether you're in plank or on your knees, on your exhale, you're slowly going to start to bend the elbows, coming through a vinyasa. So keeping them nice and close to your body, core stays engaged, come all the way down to your belly. From here on your inhale, press into your hands, keep your elbows bent, open up through the chest. This is called Cobra Pose. Core is engaged, shoulders draw down, heart lifts. Take a deep breath here. And then on your exhale, tuck your toes under, press your hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. So hanging out here for a few deep breaths. Resting if you need to rest, hitting pause, taking a drink of water. One more breath here. And then on your exhale, carefully step your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, look up, halfway lengthen your spine. On your exhale, come forward and down. Inhale, root through your feet, rise up to standing, arms up, gaze goes up. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Taking that again, inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold over your straight legs. Inhale, look up, halfway lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back. Once again, high plank for a full breath. Modify if you need to, otherwise slowly lower through your vinyasa. Inhale, this time press into your hands. You can stay in cobra with your elbows bent or straighten your arms, press into the tops of your feet as you lift your knees for upward facing dog. Pause here for a full cycle of breath. And then exhale, tuck the toes under, take your hips up and back, down dog. About 3 to 5 breaths here. I personally like to kind of move around in downward facing dog. If you want to keep your legs straight and still, that's fine too. Just kind of gives me an opportunity just to check back in with myself, see how I'm feeling. Listening to your body is key. So again, just give yourself permission to check in. On your exhale, step or float your feet forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, look up, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise up to standing, arms up, gaze goes up. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Taking that again, inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Inhale, look up, halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, high plank, one deep breath. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, press in your hands for up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips go up and back. Take your time. Go at your own pace. Know that you have all the opportunity in the world to just check in, catch up. Just breathe. On your next exhale, step or float your feet forward, top of your mat. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise to standing, arms up, gaze goes up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Let's work through Sun Salutation C. On your inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, look up halfway, lengthen your spine. On your exhale, plant your hands, carefully step your right foot to the back of your mat, drop your right knee down. Inhale, use the strength of your core, rise up into crescent moon, and then we'll pause. So, your left knee is above your left ankle. Root down through the left foot, take your arms up as you relax the shoulders, always relaxing the shoulders. If you want to push your weight a little bit forward so you'll feel a little bit more of a stretch in the right side, you can. From here, bring your hands down to the mat. Come onto the ball of your right foot as you step your left foot back. So you can hold here, you can go to down dog, or you can work through a flow. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. From here on your inhale, take your right leg up and back. Exhale, step the right foot through. Left knee drops down. Inhale, rise up, crescent moon. So same thing, other side. So now your right knee is above your right ankle. Your back toes, by the way, can be tucked or untucked. If you want to push your weight a little bit forward just to feel it on the left side, you can. Take another deep full breath into your low belly. And then from here, bring your hands down to the mat. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise to standing, arms up, gaze goes up. Exhale, hands go to your heart. Taking that on the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, look up halfway, engaging your belly. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back, left knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up for crescent moon. Pause here for a few breaths. It's okay if it takes you a few moments just to settle in. It's okay if you feel wobbly. Again, if you've got sensitive knees, you might want to put a blanket underneath your knees just for support. From here, bring your hands to the mat. Step your right foot back to meet the left. You can pause and plank, drop to your knees, or take a flow. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, your left leg will go up and back. Exhale, step the left foot through. Right knee drops down. Inhale, reach your arms up, come into crescent moon. Check in with your shoulders, check in with your breath. Noticing if you're wobbling all over the place, try to find stability. Take one more deep breath here. And then bring your hands down to the mat. From here, step your right foot forward to meet the left. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise at the standing, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to your heart. So that was one round. We'll go through it again a couple more times at a little bit faster pace. As always, just take your time. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Right foot goes back, knee drops down. Inhale, reach your arms up, crescent moon. Just take one full cycle of breath. Bring your hands back down. Step your left foot back, plank, or drop to your knees. Lower through your flow. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg goes up and back. Exhale, right foot steps through. Left knee drops down. Inhale, rise, crescent moon. Pause. Bring your hands down to the mat. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise at the standing, engage that core. Reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Left side, inhale, take the arms up, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back, left knee drops down. Inhale, reach your arms up, crescent moon. Pause. Hands come to the mat, step your right foot back. You know your options, make your way to downward facing dog. Take your time, connect with your breath, listen to your body, and of course rest if you need to. Inhale, left leg goes up. Exhale, step the left foot through. Right knee drops down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Crescent moon, one full breath. Hands come to the mat. Step your right foot forward to meet the left. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise at the standing, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Last time with this flow. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, come forward and down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right foot back, knee drops down. Inhale, one deep breath, pause. Bring your hands to the mat, step your left foot back. Optional to flow, or hold, or go to down dog. Just breathe. Right leg goes up and back on the inhale. Exhale, step the right foot through. Left knee drops down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Crescent moon. Pause. Bring your hands down to the mat. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise at the standing. Arms up. Gaze up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Last time, left side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back, knee drops down. Inhale, rise up, pause. Hands come to the mat. Right foot steps back. Go through your flow or meet in down dog. Continuing to breathe deep, On your inhale, take your left leg up and back. Exhale, step the left foot through. Right knee drops down. Inhale, reach your arms up, crescent moon, one deep breath. On your exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise at the standing, arms up, gaze goes up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. Now might be a good time if you want to push pause and go get a break or go take a break, you're welcome to. Don't leave your mat, but if you need some water, you're welcome to. Otherwise, when you're ready, we'll start Sun Salutation A. So from here, on your inhale, we're gonna bend your knees deep, sink down, and then sweep your arms up overhead, coming into chair pose or fierce pose. So for chair pose, there's a couple different things to note. Your feet are gonna be about inner hip distance apart. You wanna drop down through your tailbone, so you're not sticking your butt out, but it's more dropped, engaging through your core, and then lengthening up through your fingertips as your shoulders draw down your back. So squeeze your lower belly in. Imagine you dropping down through your tailbone. And then we'll just hold here for a minute just so you can really get honest and feel it out. If you want to see if you can sink back a little bit deeper without compromising the position of your body, you can. One more breath. Exhale, forward fold, release that. Should feel pretty good. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back. You can move through a vinyasa or go straight to downward facing dog. Most importantly, just staying connected with your breath. From here, you're gonna spin your left heel down, step your right foot forward. So you're in a lungy shape. Inhale, slowly start to rise up for warrior one. And pause. One of my favorite poses. Your right knee is above your right ankle, outside edge of the left foot roots down. Your hips are squared off towards the front of your mat, and then your arms are extending up towards your ceiling. Check in with your shoulders, check in with your breath. Really strong pose here. See if you can sink down just a little bit deeper into that right leg. Take one more deep breath. From here, bring your hands to the mat. Step your right foot back to meet your left. You can pause, you can flow, you can go straight to down dog. Pause here. When you're ready, spin your right heel down, step your left foot forward. Feel the stability in your legs. Engage through your low belly and imagine you're using your core to lift you up rather than just kind of flying up into the pose. Sink down, square your hips off. Few deep breaths. And again, notice and be okay with both sides feeling a little different. So if you need to give yourself a couple manual adjustments, you're welcome to do that. But just feel strong for what your body needs today. Back off if you need to. Go deeper if you can. From here, bring your hands to the mat. Step your left foot back. Pause and plank. And then lower through your flow if you can. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Take about 3 deep breaths here. Again, I like to fidget in downward facing dog, so if you want to bend your legs, sway your hips, let go of a couple deep breaths. No judgment. When you're ready, step or jump your feet towards the top of your mat. Inhale, look up, halfway lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, bend your knees, sink down and come back into chair pose. So you finish this flow where we started, and then exhale, bring your hands to your heart. That was one round. Let's do it again. Inhale, bend your knees deep, sink down and come into chair pose. Pause here for 2 deep breaths, maybe sink a little bit lower. Checking back in. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back. Pause, flow, or go straight to down dog. Taking a couple deep breaths, working through the flow if you chose to do that. Meeting in down dog. From here, spin your left heel down, step your right foot forward. Inhale, reach your arms up, coming into warrior one. So just holding for one deep breath this time. Exhale, take your hands to the mat, step your right foot back. You know your options. Meeting in downward facing dog. Right heel spins down, left foot steps forward. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. One full breath. And then bring your hands to the mat. Step your left foot back, lower through your foot. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. Hopefully you feel a little more energized, you're feeling better. So moving your body, moving your energy always does the body good. When you're ready, step or jump your feet forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, bend your knees deep. Sink down, come into chair pose. Pause. Exhale, hands to your heart. Last time, inhale, bend your knees deep. Sink down, come into chair pose. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, look up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, down dog or flow. Meeting in downward facing dog, left heel spins down, right foot steps up. Inhale, use that strong core, rise up, warrior one. Pause. Bring your hands to the mat, step your right foot back, lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right heel spins down, left foot steps up. Inhale, reach your arms up, warrior one. Pause. And then bring your hands to the mat, step your left foot back. You know your options. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths. Exhale, step or float your feet forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold in. Just hang out here for a moment. So don't worry about chair pose. Just kind of let the body just relax. Might be a relative term in when we're in a forward fold, but just kind of notice how you feel right here. Maybe grab opposing elbows, maybe inviting that sway. Place a gentle bend in the knees and then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, start to rise up to standing. Reach your arms up overhead, straight legs, open the chest. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Just take a moment here, connecting with your breath. Noticing the pulse, noticing the energy. Being proud of yourself for just doing that. Take another moment or so here, just settling in. Okay, so start to gently blink the eyes open. You can stay facing the front of your mat. I'm gonna just face the camera now for the purpose of demonstrating. We're gonna do a couple balancing poses because balancing and core stabilization is the key to success in yoga. Might be my opinion, but we're gonna do a balancing pose regardless. So I'd like to guide you through tree pose. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start with your feet about hip distance apart, and then we're gonna start to shift our weight over into our left foot. So you don't have to do anything balancing related yet, but just start to shift your weight over so you feel that left leg fire up. Engage your left thigh. You can take your left hand to your left hip. So we're just gonna do tree pose. So you'll take your right foot and you can start to lift your heel. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can start to bring your foot to your ankle or right by your ankle. If this is enough of a balancing pose for you, stay here. If you wanna take it to the next level, you can take your foot to your shin and you can hang out here. If you want to take it a step further, you can use your right hand to support you. Bring your foot to your inner thigh. Now the key is you don't want to have your foot on your knee because that's just not good for your knee health. You want to make sure your foot is either on your thigh, your shin, or the floor. From here, bring your hands to your heart, and then you just hang out for a couple deep breaths. So the key here is to find something in front of you that's not moving to focus your attention on. So find that focal point, whether you've got a decoration in your room, or maybe you're focusing, I don't know, on the front of your mat, but just focus on that and breathe. Notice how that supports you. If you're good here, just stay. If you want to throw some added complications, just take your arms up into the sky, to the ceiling. Just notice how when you invite your arms into the posture, it kind of throws things off a little bit. Bring your hands back to your heart. If you fell out of it, just get right back in. We'll take 3 more deep breaths. Keeping your core engaged, spine straight the whole time. All right, you can release the right leg down. Shake out your legs. And then the key to yoga is balance, like I said, so now we gotta balance it out to the other side. So shift your weight first over into your right foot. Feel this leg grounded, like all 4 corners of that foot is rooted down on the mat. Then start to take your left foot closer to your body. You can bring it to your ankle. You can bring it to your calf. You can bring it to your thigh. And note that both sides might be completely different. Just be cool with that, it's fine. Bring your hands to your heart. Find that thing that you're looking at to focus your attention on. Engage your belly. Relax your shoulders. If you notice maybe you're hiking them up a little bit, see if you can relax them down. Take a couple deep breaths. Stay here if you're feeling like this is enough. If you want to just play with taking your arms up towards the ceiling a little more. Maybe take your gaze off of that thing you were looking at if you want to challenge your balance more. Just changing up the senses will change the poses completely. Bring your hands to your heart, pause, press the palms together, feel that support you. And then bring your left foot down to the ground. Shake out your legs. Come back to the top of your mat if you happen to move. Bring your hands to your heart, take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth. All right, we're gonna do one more sun salutation just to make our way onto the floor. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, look up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back. Pause in your plank pose. Take a deep breath here. On your exhale, slowly start to bend the elbows. You can drop to your knees if you need to. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, you're gonna step or jump your feet into a seated position. And then we're gonna do some core work now. Because again, stability, balance, core work, that'll help your entire practice. So we're gonna do what's called boat pose. So I'll sit kind of sideways so you can see. You're gonna start first by sitting up nice and tall. The key here in this pose has nothing to do with how high your legs go. It's all about the engagement in the front and the back of your body. So your core is your whole trunk. It's not just your abs. So think about straight spine, engaging the back, engaging the belly, opening up through the chest first. So if you have that engagement, your hands are underneath your thighs and this feels like a good core work for you, stay. If you want, you'll start to sink back in or lean back into your tailbone, keep that chest lifted, maybe bring your feet parallel to the ground. Feel that core stability. You're like, okay, this is good. I can hang out here for a little while. Take your arms out. You're like, Melissa, this is still really easy. Straighten your legs. And then you just hold here. Breathe. Breath is so important in core work. If you start to hold your breath, you're gonna miss the benefits of the pose. Take one more. And then you're gonna bring your feet to the ground, bring your hands to the ground. Your hands will be face down, fingers face the front of your mat. On your inhale, just push into your feet, lift your hips up, come into reverse table. If that doesn't work, keep your booty on the ground, open up through your heart. just a counter pose. If you're in reverse table, start to come down. If you're still seated, just start to sit back up. We're gonna do that again. We're gonna spice things up a little bit, add a different variation. So now that you know the couple phases of boat pose, go to the one that works for you. So I'm gonna keep my feet parallel for the sake of demonstration. So if this works for you, like I said, just stay. If you wanna change things up a little bit, releasing the arms, bring your hands to your heart. Take a deep breath here. Now, if you wanna twist, start to lean your upper body towards the right, extend your arms out towards the right, keeping your lower body as if it's like just stuck there, it's not gonna move. Full breath. Come back through center, and then switch sides, over to the left. Maybe your legs are shaking, I know mine are. Come back through center, we're gonna do that 2 more times on each side. Come back to the right, go to the center, over to the left, keep your belly engaged, the center, 1 more time, to the right, center, to the left, center. Pause, maybe straighten the legs, release the feet, release the hands. Whew. Come into reverse table. Exhale, start to lower down. Get to do 1 more. Okay, so repeat round 1, repeat round 2, or if you want to step it up. All the versions are stepping it up, but if you want to do something different. So again, starting with your feet parallel, or again, all of these can be done on the floor. This time you're going to bring your hands out in front of you. From here, you're just going to straighten your right leg. Hover it, don't let it touch. Bend your right leg. Straighten your left leg. Hover. Let it touch. So this is what this would look like if you had your feet on the ground, which is completely fine. You release your hands, just take your right leg out. Bend the knee, left leg out. So continue with that at your own pace, regardless of the variation that you're in. If you want to really, it changes it up, bring your hands behind your head. Breathe. Every time you extend, every time you draw it in, it's a breath. Take 1 more on each side. Release the hands, release the legs. Plant the hands on the mat. Push yourself into reverse table, any variation. And then slowly start to come down to the floor. Good news is we're going to our back. Bad news is it's not time to rest yet. It's not bad news, but I bet you're ready for that. So come to your back. Hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze. Rock around a little bit, just notice how good it feels to be lying on your back. And we're gonna do 3 back bends just to open up the front of the body after that core work. That's like my favorite combination, core and then heart and back bends, or heart openers and back bends. So for bridge pose, where we're gonna start, you're gonna bring your feet right close to your sit bones, about hip distance apart. Your arms are gonna be planted down by your sides. On your inhale, push into your feet, lift your hips up. Now you can stay here. If you have a pillow or if you do happen to have a block, you can put it beneath your sacrum, and this can be a supported bridge pose. If you want to take it a little further, bring your hands underneath you, interlace your fingers and walk your shoulders in. Push down through all 4 corners of each foot. Push your shins forward, maybe close the eyes. Take 2 more breaths. And then slowly start to lower all the way down. Keep your feet where they are, just let your knees kind of buckle in towards one another. We'll give ourselves we'll squeeze our legs in at the end. We don't want to overwhelm the spine by hugging them in yet. So just hold on, or refrain from doing that for now. We're gonna repeat that 2 more times with a couple different variations if you wish. On your inhale, come into bridge pose, any variation you like. Keep your core engaged, push your shins forward, feet pressed down. Now again, you can stay here, or if you want, walk your left foot in a little closer towards midline. Take your right knee towards your chest, Lift your right leg up. Bend your right knee, plant your right foot. Scoot your right foot over a little bit, take your left knee toward your chest, lift your left leg up. Bend the left knee, plant the foot, push your hips up, come into full bridge pose. Take one more deep full breath. And then slowly start to let it go. Keep your feet where they are, let your knees come in. Maybe take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Deep full breaths. Last time here. So you can repeat any of those variations. Just come on up for your bridge pose. Imagine every inhale just filling up the full front body. Check in with your feet. Push your hips up. Take one more deep breath. And then slowly start to let everything go down towards the mat. Now you can hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Rock around a little bit. Massage the spine. Do that. From here, keep your right knee tucked in towards your chest. Just extend the left leg out down towards the mat. You can move this right leg around a little bit, just working through the thigh. Draw the left knee back in towards your chest. Release the right leg down. Maybe sway around a little bit from side to side here. Hug both knees into your chest once more, big hug. And then start to rock up and down the length of your spine, eventually making your way to seated. So we're gonna come right into a seated forward fold from here. So your legs are extended out nice and long. Bring your hands by your sides and then inhale, take your arms up, gaze up. On your exhale, you're gonna hinge from your waist and reach for what you can. So if you're super flexible and you have a block handy, you can reach for a block out in front of you. If that's just not accessible at all and you don't have a block, reach for your feet. If you're like, Melissa, that's not where I'm at. So reach for your shins, go for your thighs, wherever you feel the stretch in your hamstrings, in your lower back. Check in though, again, with your shoulders. There's a natural tendency to kind of want to hunker down and bring your shoulders towards your ears. See if you can still keep the length in your chest as you forward fold. It's not about touching your knees towards your nose, or nose towards your knees, excuse me. It's about just feeling the opening through the back body. Just take several deep breaths here. Starting to give your body permission to slow everything down. Take one more deep breath. Slowly start to let the body rise back up. From here, you can stay where you are. You're gonna bring your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. So almost like you're making a figure four with your lower body. Your left leg can be out. Inhale, take your arms up, gaze up, and exhale, again, hinge forward, reaching for whatever you can. So again, being a yoga teacher, practicing all the time, I'm super flexible, so I can reach my foot, but I couldn't always do that. For a while, it's just reach for your shin, reach for your thigh, reach for whatever you can touch. And just allow yourself to settle in here. Move your ankle around. Maybe you're feeling a little tight there. It's okay to hear some snaps and some cracks as long as it doesn't hurt. Just breathe. inhale, start to come back through center. From here, just switch your feet. So you're gonna take your left foot to the inside of your right thigh, right leg extends out long. Inhale, take your arms up and gaze up, and then exhale, hinge forward, reaching for what you can. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold in. Pause. And again, meet your body where it's at today. There's a misconception in yoga that you have to be super flexible and do all the things and, you know, be able to touch your toes, and it's not like that. It's about breathing, listening to your body, and just challenging your edge on any given day, and that changes every day too. There's some days where it just feels better to just, you know, go a little easier on your body. If that's what you need, that's what you need. The thing I love best about yoga is that it's not competitive. It's personal practice. Slowly start to come back up. From here, bring your right foot in, bring both feet together. This is called bound angle pose. So the closer you have your feet towards your body, you'll feel it more in your hips and the groin area. The further away, it'll be more of a low back stretch. So again, what do you need? Inhale, sit up tall, and then exhale, start to come forward and down. And I like to use my forearms against my calves to kind of apply just a gentle pressure. It'll deepen the stretch a little bit. If that just doesn't work for you, just take your hands away. Again, breathing into the low back. Take 5 more deep breaths here. Maybe seeing if you can sink down just a little bit deeper. So it takes your body a few seconds to get comfortable. So again, if something feels tight, like maybe a little uncomfortable, but it doesn't hurt, try to breathe through it. If it hurts, obviously back off, but give your body an opportunity just to sink in. That's how you improve your flexibility. So you can stay here if this feels like enough. Otherwise, release your hands if you're holding onto your feet and just walk your hands over towards the right side of your mat. Maybe take your left hand on top of your right, push your hands down, feel the stretch now in your upper back too. Continuing to press the feet together. Start to walk your hands over towards the left side of your mat if you took that option. Otherwise, just stay in your forward fold for a few more deep breaths. Slowly start to walk your hands back. Make your way back up to seated. Use your hands to draw the knees back together. Straighten your legs, and then come back down to your mat. Hug your knees into your body. Give yourself a squeeze. Rock around again, just massaging the back, noticing how it might feel a little bit different now. From here, bring your left foot to the mat, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, so you're making a figure 4 again with your lower body. Flex your right foot, and if this feels like enough of a hip opener, hang out here. If you want to deepen it, bring the left foot up, and then reach through that little triangle you created with your legs underneath your left thigh, and then draw the left thigh in towards your body. You can flex your right foot, or you can relax it depending on what you need. But again, just notice. Don't push it too far. Relax your shoulders, maybe start to close the eyes. Sometimes a little gentle rocking motion feels good. Take 5 more deep breaths here. that left leg down. Uncross the right foot, windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Just breathe. Here, come back through center. Bend the right knee, cross the left ankle over the right thigh. You can stay here or start to draw the right leg in towards your body. Reaching either underneath the thigh, if you have a deeper variation, you can reach for the shin. Starting to let the body relax, eyes closed. Noticing if your mind is wandering off to your to-do list. See if you can reel it back in for the next couple minutes. Take a few more deep breaths. Carefully release the right foot to the mat, uncross the left foot, windshield wiper your knees from side to side. From here, plant your feet, shift your hips over to the left, let your knees fall over to the right, coming into a spinal twist. So I like to cross my legs and take a twist. It deepens the stretch for me, but if you like to keep your legs uncrossed, you're welcome to do that too. Arms can go out into a T, gazing over your opposite shoulder. If you're still holding on to your deep breath, seeing if you can just let that go. Preparing your body for Shavasana or your final resting pose, which will be right around the corner. Carefully come back through center. You have the legs crossed, you can uncross them, then plant your feet, shift your hips to the right. Let your knees fall to the left. Arms in a T, gazing over your opposite shoulder. Really starting to let go here. Acknowledging the hard work that you put in. Start to come back through center. Across the legs. If you had them crossed, give yourself a squeeze. Now here you at home can take any last minute movements that you like to take before entering into your final rest. And when you're ready, let the arms and the legs go and find yourself in Shavasana lying on your back. I'll give you as much time as you need. I want to thank you for practicing with me today and for putting in the work and just taking care of yourself. It's been a pleasure to guide you. Namaste.